who do you think individually has the most regret? I think there are a number of contenders that could take the top spot.
I've got a
list.
clear number one.
I have a handful of outside candidates as well, based on everything that went down this offseason. Chad, you're clear number one.
Well, now that I think about it, there's maybe a close second also. The Broncos. The trade for Russell Wilson, the hiring of Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, you could I'd say Russell Wilson's the worst thing right now going for them with what they gave up and with the way he's playing, because you can always fire Nathaniel Hackett, which I think they will after this season, and hire a new coach. But that is an albatross around their neck at this point. And then you look on the flip side of Seattle being one of the better stories across the NFL and what they're doing with Geno Smith. It's really bad for the Broncos. I mean, you ask that question, that's the answer that comes to mind immediately with regret across the league. Got to be the Broncos.
That's a good one. I've got several, but I'm going to go Green Bay with the Davante Adams trade. I mean, you accommodated the guy, and that's all well and good. But look, I think that the Raiders might
tag him originally.
I think that the Raiders might regret it as well for what they're paying him and where they are in the standings. They're terrible, so they're getting great production out of him, but it's not turning into them contending in this division that everybody thought would be magnificent. And if he were in Green Bay, you'd have a hard time convincing me that the Packers would be in the trouble that they're in. So I think both sides could have regrets about that, no matter whether Davante Adams wants to be in Las Vegas with his old buddy or not.
You could also say Josh McDaniels could have a little bit of regret. He's waited, 10 years to take over, and he hasn't really picked up where we thought he would based on where he left off in Denver.
But my question there, Hud, is like, if you have a chance to go be the guy, you're going to take it.
Well, he's had chances, though. He's turned down multiple interviews. He turned down the Colts after accepting it.
He finally found one he felt good about. He took it. It turns out he's not a good head coach.
Tom Brady come to mind?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Now he's in Germany, and they just won on a last-second drive with 9 seconds to go.
He was pretty fired up about that one.
And now his team's 4-5. They're first in the NFC South. Meanwhile, in the AFC East, the Patriots are 5-4, and they're in last place. So they're a game better than the Bucs, but in last place. Meanwhile, the Bucs are in first place in the South. Aaron Rodgers, for demanding the 50, if he does that, I think he could also have regret about
accommodated Adams.
Right, Adams.
Or he should have retired.
A couple of others, though, and what sparked this is results from this week. John Robinson trading A.J. Brown.
Disaster.
That single-handedly may be the biggest move that affects more individual people in the league. You have a MVP contender now at quarterback in Jalen Hurts. You have a unbeaten Philadelphia Eagles team in the best division in football. And you have Nick Sirianni, who is a Coach of the Year candidate because of all this. And A.J. Brown gets paid. He's coming in. He's producing. Everything about Philly says they're in. And everything we saw on Sunday night says the Titans can't drive to get a field goal when they have to.